Hi everyone, it's Jody Conrad here from Recreation and Park Services. Hope you're doing well. I'm exploring my backyard again this week and I want to talk about birding a little bit. Now, I wouldn't consider myself an avid birder, as in I don't go out specifically looking for birds, but I am what I would call a peripheral birder. So I like to pay attention when I'm out doing other things and see what I can learn. And I wanted to do it right now because at this time of year, the trees are, there's no leaves on them yet. They haven't really even started budding out a little bit, except for maybe some of the healthy maples. So you can see the birds really well, and the warblers are returning from down south. So it's an exciting time to be a birder. So we're just gonna have a look around. What my hope is to take a few short clips of either a bird sound or the sighting of an actual bird, and just quick snaps, and see if you can either ID what they are, or maybe you already know what they are. Leave your comments in the description below and we'll see how you make out. Let's see what we can find. Just before we head out though, I wanted to show you a few of the books that I have on my bookshelf. Now, as I said, I don't consider myself a birder, but I do consider myself a learner. So I like to have concrete books to flip through as I figure things out that I see. So the Sibley books are really good for birding, as are the Peterson's field guides as well. There's one from the National Geographic Society, and there's a local one, Birding Sites in Nova Scotia. Audubon is another great lineup of books as well. So if you're interested, the library has all those. Or sometimes you can find them secondhand, used book sales and things like that. So if you've got binoculars or a monocular, also great to have. You don't need it, just appreciate the birds and see them, but it does help you get a nice up close look. And they don't have to be fancy binoculars. Like these ones are fairly decent, but my first ones were my dad's and they were pretty old and clunky, but they work just fine. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we can see. So far, I've only managed to capture sounds, which is great, but I'd love to get my eyes on some of these birds. So I'm gonna try something called pishing. It's just simply a sound, just like the name. Basically, you do this. Psh, 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 psh. And for some reason, there's varying theories on why it works, but that tends to bring in smaller birds to check out what you're doing. So we're gonna try that and see if we can get our eyes on some. The bird song in the woods right now and in our backyards is just fantastic, and that's because it's mating season, and all those spring warblers that are showing up and some of the year-rounders here as well have mating on their minds. And did you know it's actually usually only the males that sing like that, and once they've got a mate secured and are nesting, they clam up. So it's not unlike men who go to the gym until they get married and then they give it up, I guess. So something like that. And there are other kinds of calls too. There's not just mating calls. So there's contact calls and there's territorial calls and there's calls that birds only make in flight. So don't be fooled in thinking that each bird only makes one call. Most of them make several different kinds of calls. So you may think you know a bird call and then hear something different that confuses you, and it may actually be the same bird. Folks, hope that was fun. Keep enjoying your backyards. We'll see you next week.